Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for March 8, 2024. And in the news this evening, ex-boyfriend is suspected of killing Tara Dennis, slapped with a murder charge. Anthony Spliffy McNeil, who is alleged to have killed his 16-year-old ex-girlfriend, Tara Alicia Dennis, and wounded her boyfriend, has been slapped with a murder charge along with 4 other offenses. The 28-year-old was also charged on Thursday with wounding with intent, possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony. McNeil, who is said to be Dennis's neighbor and lives in Top Road, Little London, was on the run after the incident but surrendered to the police last Sunday. Last week, Assistant Commissioner of Police revealed that Dennis's boyfriend, 38-year-old Darren Stewart, was listed as a person of interest in the corporate area. Stewart, a mechanic, was released from the Savannah Lamar Public General Hospital and gave a statement, but the news understands that he is now at large. ACP Chambers said he is appealing to Stewart to turn himself in immediately. Reports from the police are that Dennis disembarked a vehicle in Little London Square and was later accompanied by the injured man who walked her home from work. The two later sat on Dennis's veranda and talked when shortly after it is alleged that McNeil entered the yard and opened a fire at them. They ran in fear of their lives. The police said residents later alerted them, and upon their arrival, both Dennis and the male companion were found suffering from gunshot wounds. They were transported to the hospital, where Dennis was pronounced dead. Man charged with the murder of 9-year-old in Clarendon. A man has been charged with the January 26 murder of a 9-year-old in Clarendon. The police say 25-year-old Joel Williams of Windsor Avenue, which is popularly known as a ghetto, has also been charged for wounding a female shopkeeper during the incident. The child was identified as a Shamar Walker of Church Street in Maypen. Police said about 7:45 p.m. on the day of the killing, a group of people were at a shop when a man entered and stayed for about 30 minutes. He then opened a gunfire, hitting the young boy and the woman. They were both rushed to hospital, where Shamar, who was shot in the chest, was pronounced dead and the woman admitted in serious condition. Mr. Williams is to appear before the Clarendon Parish Court on March 28. Thieves escape with over $7 million from Portland wholesale. The police are searching for a group of thieves who broke into a wholesale in Portland, making off with more than $7 million in cash. The incident occurred Thursday in the community of Hope Bay. It is reported that the business operator locked up her establishment sometime after 8 p.m. Thieves later broke in and removed the 2 vaults with more than $7 million in cash. They also stole 150 boxes of assorted cigarettes. Jamaica-born British woman held with cocaine at airport gets a $350,000 bail. A Jamaica-born British woman accused of attempting to leave the island with cocaine concealed in powdered milk, which she was reportedly delivering for a friend, has been granted $350,000 bail in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court. Mitzi Graham, 53, a health care assistant, was on Wednesday offered bail by Parish Judge Carlo Mason. Graham is charged with the possession of cocaine, dealing in cocaine, and taking steps to export cocaine. As part of her bail, she must report to the Augustown Police Station on Mondays and Fridays, and her travel documents should remain at the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency. A stop order was also imposed. According to the police, on January 17, about 5 p.m., the woman checked in at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston to board a flight destined for London. During security screening, 4.8 kilograms of cocaine were reportedly discovered, concealed in 9 larger packages of Lasco in her suitcase. The cocaine is estimated to have a street value of US $144,000 or Jamaican $20,736,000. Attorney at law Orville Morgan previously told the court that his client was the one who informed the police officers that she was bringing home the milk product for her friend Munchi, who had reportedly asked her to collect them. The woman reportedly told the police about the items after they inquired about the ownership of the contents in her luggage. Following Graham's arrest, persons swooped down on Munchi's home in London, calling for her to hand herself over to the police. Graham is scheduled to return to court on May 1. JCF looking within for new commissioner. The new commissioner of police to replace Major General Anthony Anderson will come from within the ranks of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, National Security Minister Dr. Harissa Chang says. Anderson's contract expires at the end of the month. One of the contenders for the post, Deputy Commissioner of Police Kevin Blake, was slated to be interviewed this week. Blake's name has been mentioned along with that of DCP Fitzbailey as a potential replacement for Anderson. He accompanied Chang to Thursday's Standing Finance Committee meeting, catching the attention of the opposition spokesman on finance, Julian Robinson. Is DCP Blake's presence here a sign of things to come? Chang responded by disclosing that the interview process had begun for a new commissioner of police. We agreed this year that we would interview our DCPs and that the structure of the force allows their leadership to emerge internally, Chang said. Anderson is an Army veteran who was brought into the GCF to fill the post of commissioner vacated by George Aquilo and was sworn in on March 19, 2018. Prior to Anderson, former Army men Colonel Trevor Macmillan 1993 to 1996 and the Rear Admiral Hardy Lewin 2007 to 2009 were also drafted into the GCF to fill the post of commissioner. Shanika Gray's aunt upset over delay in murderer's sentencing. Thursday's delay in sentencing Gregory Roberts, the convicted murderer of 15-year-old schoolgirl Shanika Gray, has dealt yet another blow to the teenager's grieving relatives. The matter was called up in the Trelawney Circuit Court, but a combination of factors saw sentencing being pushed back to April 4. For Shanika's aunt, Nikita Gray, the delay has added to the family's mental anguish. It is not easy. It is like you're playing with my emotions while he gets leniency to do whatever he wants to do. And I am concerned about my safety and my family as well. The more time you allow them to do what they are doing, the more mess they make around Mobi, stated Gray. When asked what security concerns she was referring to, she revealed that Roberts has ties to the community. On the outside, we have to be watching our backs as well. We don't know if he's planning from the inside. We don't know if when we show up here, he has people out there to see who comes. He's a persistent kind of person. The court doesn't think about that part of it when they give him more time and entire month again, lamented Gray. The case began in November 2023 in the St. James's Circuit Court, and the verdict was delivered on January 24 in that court. However, Thursday's sentencing was sent to Trelawney to allow High Court Justice Bertram Morrison, who has been presiding over the case since inception and is now presiding over the Trelawney Circuit Court, to hand down the sentence. When the matter was called up on Thursday, Prosecutor Andrew Martin Swaby reminded Justice Morrison that he had ordered the prosecution and the defense to make written submissions in time for sentencing. Martin Swaby said the prosecution did so electronically on March 5 and a physical copy was provided at a later date. Martin Swaby said a social inquiry report was also prepared by the probation department. An antecedent report was also prepared. However, according to Justice Morrison, the matter was adjourned as a result of a combination of factors, including Roberts' attorney Chuma Paris being asked last minute to make a submission to the court on behalf of the lead defense attorney Leroy Equiano. However, Paris was unable to make a written submission within the limited time he had and proposed an oral presentation. But Justice Morrison pointed out that, based on the nature of the case and the public's interest in it, he would prefer to receive the submission in writing ahead of the sentencing date. Having said so, the matter will now be reverted to the St. James's Circuit Court on the 4th of April for sentencing, stated Justice Morrison. He then apologized to all parties involved, including Shanika's family, for the inconvenience caused. The teen's aunt said the delay, like others before it, had been hard on them. It does add to the trauma because every time you get to the point where you think it is going to wrap up or finish, and you have to brace yourself each time to come and face this guy in court, and then for them to tell you, you break down. Anxiety is not something good enough. You bring me up today, then you bring me down. And then when I go home, you have to be prepping yourself to get up each morning. So when you do things like that, it sends you back into a slumber, Grace said. Shanika, who was a grade 10 student at the time of her death in 2017, was found dead 3 days after she had been reported missing. She was last seen alive in Montego Bay while on her way home from the funeral of a schoolmate. Roberts and his co-accused, Maria Morrison, were later taken into custody in connection with the killing. Morrison pleaded guilty in September 2022 after entering a plea deal with the state and was sentenced to life in prison a month later.